Hey, what's going on, people? This is your man, Derek Terry, host of I'm Not Complaining, I'm Just Saying. Where if you're going to complain, be prepared to bring some solutions to the table. So, hey, welcome to this. What I hope is a brief episode. Try to get this knocked out in 10 minutes, but I just want to share some information with you. So let me go ahead and get my presentation ready. So at least this way, if I don't finish, well, I will finish, but at least this way, you would be able to pause and go back and review it at any time you feel. Okay, so hopefully everyone can see that, and hopefully you can see me as well, because I don't see me. Hold up for a second. Let's see what's happening. We're gonna go ahead and put up. We got technical difficulties. So give me a second. Oh, I see what happened. Okay. Sorry about that. All right, let me go ahead and share the screen again. And te technical difficulties. All right, so today's episode is called Do Facts Matter? All right, so let's go ahead and go through this. So what I'm about to show you are the organizations that oppose the charter. I'm not going to go into the rationale of why they oppose, but most of it is not due to facts. It's due to a lot of dis and misinformation. And you'll kind of see where I'm going with this. So this is one of them. It's not in the charter. I'm unaware of any county that does not have a volunteer fire department. I may be wrong, but I'm unaware. Just let you know that. Also, we got the Fraternal Order Police. Of course, you see their signs posted everywhere. You see their signs ironically posted at some I call them MAGA sites or locations. So that's interesting in itself. But yeah, they're opposed to it as well. You also have the Charles County Central Committee who's opposed to it. You have the Maryland Farm Association of Charles County, which is opposed to it. And then lastly, we have our Commissioner Bowling, District 1, as well as Commissioner Stewart, they're opposed to it. Now, what's interesting about this is that he has direct ties to this organization. I'm not going to say this organization, but I know a lot of them support him. He has direct ties to, well, indirect or direct, however you want to say it, to this organization as well as this organization. Just thought I'd let y'all know that. And keep in mind that I would probably bet, although they will probably deny it, they had their decision made up before the final charter was even submitted. Now, what I want you to keep in mind is you look at this. Keep home rule. Okay, whatever. Keep our Democrats. I don't know who the hell he's talking about in regards to keep our own Democrats, but I'll let you pretty much make up your mind when it comes to that. And of course, you see no charter, and then you see that this is paid by his campaign. Of those, some happen to be developers or have direct links with developers, whether it's residential or commercial. Just thought I'd let y'all see that. You can go to his campaign financing page and check that for yourself. But for those that were fortunate enough to get this flyer, right? I'm letting you know right now, this is false. It's just false. They don't it's just false. And we'll get into the facts later. It's just false. And of course, this part right here is false. Now, what I want you to look at, the rookie mistake of a campaign who sends out information that they say is true, but what they failed to do was actually give you the link to go read the charter for yourself. That was intentional. Because guess what? They want you to say, you know what? We are speaking the truth. You don't need to research it for yourself because our word is our bond. I want you to think about that. They don't want some of you to go read the charter for yourself to get the facts. When it says increase in taxes, right? There is no form of government that can guarantee there will not be an increase in taxes. I've asked him to answer that question. He has not answered it, right? But keep in mind, we've been under the taxes rate were raised 3 times from 2009 to 2014. Just let y'all know that they were raised. Accountability and access, we'll get into that in a second. That's all false as well. It's the key thing to remember is that why would you send out a mailer to people that you're telling them this is the facts, but yet you fail to even give them the link to go read the charter for themselves? To me, that's a form of voter suppression because you're saying, you know what? Either the people are too lazy to read or too lazy to research. So we're going to give them the information and they're going to say, you know what? You're right. I'm not going to research because you've done the research for me. Thank you. I'm just letting y'all know. That's how I see it. But let's get into the facts. If you look at here, accountability of council members overseen by executive, not the people. You can read through this, but you notice that I've actually given you the articles in which you can go to and look at it for yourself. I'm not telling you to vote yes or vote no on the charter, but I'm being a responsible citizen. I'm not even an elected official. I'm being a responsible citizen, someone with the highs of integrity, because I'm not trying to lose my job or anything else based on a lie. See, elected officials can do that. And what this elected official failed to do was to provide you the context in which they got their so-called facts from. It's right here. You can look at it for yourself. I'm not going to go down. You can pause it and read it for yourself. Okay. And there's also the link. The next one. Under this charter, we the people do not have direct access to the county executive. As it stands, you don't have direct access to the county commissioner president. He doesn't have to hold town hall meetings for the general public. He doesn't have to. The powers and duties of the county executive expressly put into there what they have to do. This is just a snippet of it, but you can go to the charter yourself and get the information. Article 5, 502. The county executive shall hold budget hearings as prescribed in section 103. The county executive shall also hold an annual town hall meeting. There is no such requirement in the home rule. And if they say, oh, well, we can change that right now, you know what? They can have a vote on it next week. And then 3 weeks later, they can say, you know what? We changed our mind. We can switch it back. The charter says, no, you cannot do that. Those are facts. Next, centralized power. I just want you to read this because the county executive holds the power to assign department heads, override decisions of council members, including legislation, which have the power to oversee, approve, blah, blah, blah. Okay. For one, the county executive doesn't write legislation. All right. It is the council who does the legislation. And the county executive, yes, does have the power to veto it. However, the council can override that. So to say that the county executive has all the power, that's completely false. As it stands in home rule, all legislation requires a simple majority vote, and the county president is a figurehead. No disrespect to the county president. He has no power at all whatsoever when it comes to legislation. The county administrator has the power to hire and fire the county government employees, as well as prioritize county projects. Now you will hear, well, if they don't fire somebody that they want, that the commissioners want, then they get rid of county executives. But at the end of the day, the county administrator has that power. Next, tax increases. I already talked about this. And I have 4 times. It's 3 times, so my apologies. There's the source. You can look at it for yourself. But if you notice, I've given you sources where you can go look at it for yourself. For those who got that, I'm going to call it a very amateurish flyer, there is no way for you to research because they don't want you to research. They want you to take their word for it. No form of government can guarantee tax increases not listed in the chart. They just can't. No form of government can do that. Here's some other facts. You can look through it, but engagement, public engagement. These are not required in home rule, and they can never be required on a permanent basis because any commissioners, 3-2, 4-1, unanimous, can say, you know what, we're going to go ahead and change it. You simply cannot do this in the charter. Required town halls, required state of a county address by the county exec, required public comments at all council meetings, not when they feel like it. Citizens advise the reorg of the planning, growth, and management. Right now, citizens have no stake, nothing. They decide zilch when it comes to that. And only citizens can amend the charter, not people that you elect. Transparency, you have an IG. You can't be more transparent to that because they're an independent entity. And you can read through it, council reviews, so forth, and the accountability. Term limits. Well, guess what? Some people don't want term limits, which to me, it make sense. You say that the county executive has all this control, right? But you don't want term limits. So if that is not the true definition of control with no term limits, I don't know what is. You can look through this for yourself. But what I will say is that people in Charles County, you heard this yesterday if you had the opportunity to watch, that at the end of the day, and I want y'all to hear this, at the end of the day, it seems that some of them are okay with a municipality. If Charles County, if Waldorf residents wanted this, yes, we'll be all for it and blah, blah, blah. But we don't want you to do it for the rest of the county. So I want you to think about that. What is the makeup of Waldorf demographics? What is the makeup? So you have no problem with that. Yes, we may have higher taxes, but guess what? We get to control what we do with our money. But then you don't want that for the entire county, which is just a segment of the county. Don't let one family dictate to Charles County how we run this county. I'm going to say it again. Don't let a family dictate how we run this county, especially when you've been getting our money from Waldorf. I'm going to say it again. Don't let a family dictate how we run this county when you've been getting our money from Waldorf. If you count St. Charles and everything, that's 120,000 people compared to 60-something. And you want the 60-something to tell the 120,000 what to do. Which obviously you don't care if you're okay with us being a municipality. Let that sink. But anyways, about to wrap this up. Saturday, which is tomorrow, if you're able to, I'm sorry, it's the 20th. I got the 19th, so my bad. It's the 20th. Myself, Greg Waring, and maybe some other people are going to be at Master Cuts. We're gonna be chopping it up, talking about the charter. Okay, chopping it up, talking about the charter and all things Charles County. So it's going to be at 10, over 11. We're going to have some coffee and donuts sponsored by Evocare. So feel free to stop by. Commissioner Stewart, this is your district. So if you want to come by, please do. We have some coffee and donuts for you. FOP president, you want to come by, coffee and donuts. Commissioner Bowling, you don't really get out too much in District 3, but if you want to come out to District 3 to a place that's not with the government, feel free to stop by. But at any rate, I'm gonna get ready to go. I tried to keep this around 11 minutes, went a little bit over, but hey, I appreciate it. The rest of y'all have a nice weekend. Remember, facts matter. That's simple. Peace and blessings.
Blaze the path.